Chris Harrison has spoken in the past about how Colton Underwood's virginity changes the whole narrative of The Bachelor. Here, he may have a lot of opportunity and temptation to hook up for the very first time, especially when it's time for the fantasy suites. But Chris says that, so far, Colton sitll has his V card. Has doing good, Chris reveals to Mario Lopez on Extra. That's pretty vague, but at least means that Colton hasn't snapped under the strain of making all of these difficult choices. I mean, we're in the middle of shooting right now, Chris points out. Meaning that there is still time for things to change for Colton. No one knows whether his ending will be happy or sad. So, Chris reasons. I can honestly say I don't know how it ends. Mario of course asks if Colton has banged one of his lovely contestants. Not yet, Chris replies. You might expect a watch and see instead of a direct denial for that. I can still tell you that the V card is still intact, Chris confirms.
Will it be in the next couple weeks? Chris asks, answering himself with, I don't know. When it comes to fantasy suites and overnight dates, Chris thinks that things may change. I think it will be put to the test, he admits. Chris then addresses Colton's bang-free life on a more serious note. One thing I will also say about his virginity, Chris says. Chris admits that it kind of became a cocktail joke and we are going to deal with that on the show. Someone else's personal sexual choices should never make them a target of ridicule. Unless it involves a fursuit. And, Chris says, the show will deal with why he is the way he is and why he's chosen to be who he is. And I think that will be compelling too, Chris explains. Mario asks if it's just a spiritual thing. Some religions, and religious denominations, may ask people adherents to abstain from sex before marriage. It goes deeper than that, Chris explains. And I thought it was just religion too.
Sex can be a really big deal to some people, and more can go into a choice like Colton's than religious convictions. And there was a part of that, Chris says. He grew up very religious, and I think that was the beginning of it. It also had to do with prior relationships and situations, Chris reveals. That is all very vague. As it should be, because Chris Harrison wouldn't be in a job for long if he spoiled the whole season. We know that Colton famously dated Olympic gold medalist Aly Raisman for a couple of years. Of course, in her book, Aly Raisman warned that Colton is a selfish jerk, though she never actually named him. In general, people who enter adulthood without having had sex either never had the opportunity, never had the desire, or had the desire but chose to avoid it. It sounds like he has plenty of desire, and one only has to look at him to know that Hess had opportunities to go to Pound Town. Viewers will be interested to hear Colton elaborate on why he has abstained.
Of course, not everyone believes that Colton is a virgin. Some believe that it's simply a fabrication intended to make him stand out among other The Bachelorette suitors. If so, it worked. He went on to Bachelor in Paradise and now he is the leading man on The Bachelor. Colton has always seemed to be drawn to women who are already in the spotlight.
What do you think about it? Share your opinion in the comments below the video. And also subscribe to the channel not to miss new, interesting videos.